Ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, welcome to Talking at 6. I'm your host, 1-6, a.k.a. Dr. Draken out here stacking, a.k.a. Vlad Masters heavy on the laughter, a.k.a. Ron Stoppable spinning that knockout dough, a.k.a. Tucker Foley blocking like a goalie, a.k.a. me go minus the ego, shout out to the rest of the team go, a.k.a. Mr. You Will Remember My Name. Shout out to Ember McLean, a.k.a. Mr. Barking in the Basement Sparking, a.k.a. Mr. Lancer tipping his favorite dancer, Sister of the Traveling Pants, look at her go, a.k.a. Lord Monkey Fist with the golden wrist, a.k.a. the Box Ghost, the podcast host, beware, a.k.a. Kim Possible to an obstacle, a.k.a. Danny Fenton with the A.K. rinsing. And today's episode is brought to you by Bueno Nacho, Home of the Nacho, and Nasty Burger. Nasty. It's one letter away from tasty. Today's episode I will be discussing, reviewing, comparing, just generally rambling about Kim Possible and Danny Phantom. And for those of you unaware, Kim Possible was an animated series that aired on Disney Channel, while Danny Phantom was an animated series that aired on Nickelodeon. Now, a little backstory, Kim Possible follows the life of a teenage superhero / private eye that, I wouldn't necessarily call her superhero, but, she kind of filled that role. She saved the day, saved the world from supervillains on a pretty regular basis. And these villains such as Dr. Draken, Shigo, Professor Dementor, Lord Monkey Fist, Dee and Amy, Duff Killigan, who's honestly one of my favorites. He's just angry Scottish golfer who got banned from pro golf. I'm pretty sure it was cheating. Became the world's deadliest golfer. Started using exploding golf balls. Made no sense whatsoever. It's I don't even remember what it's like. It's probably just a dude smacked the golf ball, hit the ground, and blow up. It's why? Just why? But honestly, so yeah, a little backstory on that, and a little backstory on Danny Phantom. He was a teenage kid whose parents are ghost hunters who built a portal from the human realm into the ghost world that's supposed to connect the two worlds. They never quite got working. So he decided to take a look inside of it one day, and there was a horrible accident that resulted in him getting ghost powers. So now he's half human, half ghost. He can transform into his ghost side and then, fly, turn invisible, walk through walls, pretty much all the best powers of ghosts. He can shoot plasma blast and whatnot. But yeah, so his side, he's more superhero. I like to think of these two as more, Kim Possible is more of a Batman, where Danny Phantom will be closer to Spider-Man. In the sense of Kim Possible has no real powers. She's just extremely athletic and has a lot of gadgets. Where Danny Phantom actually has a power, as a superpower he has to he uses to save the day, that he has to work on, he has to train with, because he gets better at using. But also he has to keep his secret identity, where Kim Possible, everyone knows who she is. That's literally her name is Kim. She just uses her name. Everyone knows who she is. Everyone recognizes her face. She's really popular with people, average people, saving the day, but at the same time, she kind of just struggles with being a normal person. She has issues with being, she's great at being a hero. Put her in any situation, she'll make it out okay. She's fine, save the day all the time. Yet when it comes to just being a normal kid, she struggles. There's one episode where she was in driver's ed and just constantly failed, just could not drive to save her life. Failed every test, failed every simple thing, parallel parking, she failed, just basic things she couldn't do. She can barely function behind the wheel, yet somehow she can disarm a doomsday device with little to no knowledge before going into the situation. Yet somehow she'll come out perfectly fine. Whereas Danny Phantom, he fights ghosts, and sure, the ghost, there's variations in the ghost, it's different, but it's more of a he goes in and okay, I gotta fight this guy who controls technology, aka Technus, the master of technology. Hilarious character, kind of a Jerry Lewis-esque voice. He looks like a just classic 50s scientist. It's funny because he controls technology, but he can't control, has no real knowledge of modern technology. So it's weird. It's he's basically 1950s B-movie scientist. It was oh, I know technology. By technology, I mean radios. It's the most advanced technology there is. It's dude, no. Just no. But eventually he learns modern technology, gets better at it, gets stronger, becomes more of a foe. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's the classic story of Danny Phantom constantly having to fight villains that are learning to adapt and advance and get better. Where Kim Possible is just oh, she gets really lucky, or like she's extremely athletic, so this makes sense. It's really Batman-esque where her day is usually saved by some gadget she has that's made by her. I want to say her sidekick, but he's not really a sidekick. He's more of a like. Actually, he kind of is. He's kind of like an Alfred almost. He builds all his technology. He runs our website for him. His name is Wade. He's a 10-year-old computer genius who never leaves his room. It's really weird, and somehow like pretty sure it's already like it's stated early on that he's already graduated from college. He already has a college degree. Yet in the later seasons, they make him go to high school, so he ends up going to high school Kim and Ron are at, and it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't make any sense, but kind of just run with it. The last couple seasons of the show got really weird. They just steal whatever, just threw ideas at the wall and ran with it. But yeah, they did the whole throughout the series. They did the whole will they won't they thing with Kim and Ron, and then the last two seasons, like all right, yeah, they're just dating. Fine, let's go with it. Let's run with it. It actually happened after the second movie, which was So the Drama, which was actually a great one. But the first one, start off by talking about the first one, A Stitch in Time, in which Dr. Draken, Shigo, Lord Monkey Fist, and Duff Killigan team up and steal the Time Monkey, aka the Tempest Simia, and use it to travel throughout the timeline of Kim Possible's life and try to stop her from becoming the hero she is now, stop her from being able to defeat them, which goes back in the several different moments. There's one more where they go back to her first mission ever, which shows her how she became who she is. It was she originally started her website to get babysitting jobs. Like, oh yeah, it makes it easier to book for babysitting and keep track of the jobs. Well, it accidentally got a billionaire got trapped in his vault. He got a new security system. Got trapped in his vault. He was trying to type in the website for Team Possible, which is a group of mercenaries slash heroes that save people for pay. He was trying to get them. He accidentally typed Kim Possible. She showed up and somehow like saved the day. The guy was like trapped in his vault with this crazy laser grid. She somehow jumped through the lasers, got the remote, turned it off. Honestly, it makes no sense when you look at it. It's like crazy, but that's what set her on the path to becoming the superhero or the hero she is, and saving the day on a regular basis, and how she got to the status where she was. But really, if you look back at it, like it makes no sense. The whole series is kind of weird. Like it's awesome. I highly recommend watching it. It's a great watch, pretty entertaining. It's awesome, but genuinely makes little to no sense when you think about it. It's like it's a lot like Batman, where like in Gotham, all the cops are corrupt, so Batman basically is the police force. You can't really trust anyone. But in Kim Possible, it's never seen as like, oh, the cops are terrible. It's like, no, the cops are there. The cops can easily save the day. You can easily call the cops, but it's less like of a localized problem. She's on a global scale, where it's like these countries have, like in countries that have military, it's like they easily just send in like trained professionals to take out this supervillain. Like they're not really dangerous supervillains. They're like barely inept at all. Like they're horribly stupid. Like their whole doomsday schemes make no sense whatsoever. It's like they want the simplest things ever, and it's like you can send a military in and stop them, but no one ever does. Just oh yeah, some random farmer like contacts Kim on her website, sends her an email, and then suddenly she's off to Germany for some reason. It's like oh yeah, I'm just how to go stop this villain. It's like why? Like why is some small town farmer contacting you? B, why are you the one to go save the problem? Like, why are you letting some cheerleader go in and save the day? Why is no one else stepping in like, hey, we should take care of this? It's also the fact of there are actual superheroes in the world. There's Team Go, which is Higo, Migo, and the twins referred to as Wego. They're all Shigo's brothers. And they all got superpowers when they were hiding out. They were hanging out in their clubhouse treehouse one day. A meteor strike gave them all powers. They used to be part of the team. Shigo used to be part of the team. They all saved the day from villains. And eventually, Shigo fell in love with crime. She became a villain and just broke off from the team and never spoke to them ever again. But at the same time, it's like, they're superheroes in this world. Why does no one know about them? How is Kim Possible international, but the actual superpowered people are only in their town that they live in? They don't go anywhere else. They haven't helped anyone. No one really knows about them. It's so weird. I get it. It's a cartoon. It doesn't have to 100% make sense. Yeah, it's all writing. And, it makes sense. Cartoon doesn't make any sense. Shut up, all right? Shut up. And the rules they establish in the world, don't set it up where it's semi-realistic, but, we're going to ignore these actual real-world things. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't set it up like, oh, yeah, it's kind of realistic and it makes sense, but then it doesn't. All right, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But yeah, it's like, oh man, this guy has a giant nuke he's gonna launch. Go ahead and send in a cheerleader. Don't send in a highly trained military that can stop it. No, no, no. We're gonna go ahead and send in a cheerleader and her best friend, giant slacker that has a naked mole rat in his pocket for some reason. just why? But honestly, Unstoppable, great character, incredibly underrated. I mean, sure, like he's like the slacker, C student, giant slob. It's like, oh man, classic write off. But if you really look at it, the man has done really insanely awesome things for his level of skill with having like none of the training. Well, neither of them have really any training, but having none of the athletic ability of Kim, just being a complete loser. Like, he's only there because he's friends with her, but at the same time, the guy is awesome. Like, he technically is a master of monkey kung fu. He has magical monkey kung fu powers that never really gets addressed. It gets addressed in like 2 episodes. There's the episode where he gets the power, and then there's a callback to that episode, but it's never really like a thing that's like hammered home. Oh yeah, by the way, this guy's like really awesome magical powers that he could use, that he could summon, but no one ever brings up. Man got sent to the Yamanouchi school, secret ninja school in Japan. It's like hidden in a mountain that no one really knows anything about. And he can control the Lotus Blade, this magical, like, legendary sword that was hidden for years until Lord Monkey Fist found it, because you have to have the magical monkey powers to control it. And only 3 people that have them are Lord Monkey Fist, Ron, and Ron's pet mole rat, Rufus. Which, man, that was a reach. But yeah, like, no one ever mentions that. No one ever brings that up. He also, when Kim Possible got on the cheerleading squad, he was like bored, had nothing to do, so he made his own mascot costume to join the team because the school didn't have a mascot. He became the Middleton Mad Dog, made the mask himself, like with his own mask making kit, and it had a working foam dispenser, a working edible foam dispenser. So you could like eat the foam. Like, he had a foaming mouth. You could eat the foam. It was banana cream flavored foam. It was pretty awesome. For some reason, everyone hated him. Cheerleaders like all hated him. It's like, no, we don't need him. It seems like, but the guy's great, man. Come on now, you need a mascot. The man built his own mask. He put in that effort. Just put him on the team. Just deal with it. You know, the guy's overcome a lot. Like, as a kid, he went to Camp Wannaweep, and one of the guys he had, while at camp, he had a bully named Gil. It was this kid who just like loved swimming in the lake, but the lake was clearly polluted. Ron was afraid. It's like, I'm not going to the lake. I'm never going in the lake. Ron had a fear of the lake. Everybody made fun of him for having a fear of the lake. But it was like, lake's clearly polluted. He shouldn't be in it. The camp should be shut down. The Camp One Week shared a lake with science camp, a space camp, a math camp, a band camp, and clown camp. And like the science camp and the space camp were like all the other camps were clearly polluting the lake. You can just see like the toxic runoff from the camps just dumping into the lake. No one ever addressed. Lake's clearly polluted. Well, it turns out years later, Gil, the kid who wouldn't leave the lake, then got then got mutated by the tainted lake and became like basically this like creature from the Black Lagoon swamp thing, half swamp monster thing that somehow trapped them in the camp. They formulated a plot to get revenge on Ron by creating a fake cheerleading competition, and the cheerleaders were going to. Then he broke down. He made their bus break down, trapped them at the camp just to get revenge on Ron. Which eventually Ron did beat him, which was really awesome. It was like he overcame his fear, beat his biggest bully. It was awesome. Then like 3 seasons later, guess what? Exact same plot. Exact same callback, except the competition this time actually is real. This is real. Gil's there, but now he's no longer mutated. He looks human again, but everyone believes it except for Ron. He's like, nah, dude, he's still evil. There's no way. There's no way that guy's normal. Turns out he wasn't. He gets mutated again. This time he's even bigger than he was. Ron beats him yet again. And this time he kind of gets credit for it. It's like, okay, yeah, you did save us. That was pretty awesome. Same time, I'm still like, yeah, but really, they just don't want to give the man credit whatsoever. It kind of sucks. Then, like, in the later seasons, like I said before, they kind of switch everything up. They kind of shake up everything. He does get credit. He becomes the quarterback. He becomes the team quarterback. It's the quarterback of the football team. Becomes, like, star quarterback. It's awesome because the coach sees him, like, running away from villains one day, or he's, like, running from someone, and he's, like, impossible for people to catch him. He's great at breaking. Suddenly, there's, like, him being great at breaking tackles, so they put him on the team, make him a quarterback. Guy's a star. Everyone loves him. The issue with this one is Kim's twin brothers are now in high school at this point, and they make them the new mascots. They become the Middleton Mad Puppies, which Ron initially hates because like they're ruining his mantle. They take up his mantle. They're ruining his image. They took his place, which he's having a hard time dealing with. But eventually he realizes the crowd loves him. Everyone loves them. They're great at what they do. So he lets it go. You know, he lets them have their moment, lets them have their shine, let them have some time in the sun. And it's all pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty great. But yeah. But basically what I'm saying, the point I'm getting at is Kim Possible don't make no sense, man. Like, why? How you just gonna let it, like, they just want the teenager walk in and it's like, oh yeah, this giant nuclear lab that, we're top secret lab that no one should know about. Yeah, just let her walk in. Just let her go in. She'll save the day. And like, she gets rides to these places, like, in the weirdest way possible. It's just like, oh, like, some blimp pilot that owes him, yeah, oh, you wanted me to save my business. Like, how did she, like, oh, yeah, it was no issue. Just handing out 10,000 flyers or some stupid shit that makes no sense whatsoever. But, like, they never explain. They explain how, like, somehow get to the place where she needs to be in the country. Like, she'll be like, okay, say she needs to go to Switzerland. She'll get a ride with, like, a snowplow driver in Switzerland to get her too close enough to the base she needs to go to. But they don't explain how she got to Switzerland in the first place. Because basically it's implied that the show that she lives in America. So how did she get from America to Switzerland? Also, she got there in a day, stopped the villain, did what she needed to do, had the fight or whatever, and got back home in the same day, all on a school night. But it's like, all right, be home by 9, be home early, it's a school night. Who parents are gonna let you go out and say, who parents gonna let their teenage kid go off and save the day? Oh yeah, go fight supervillains on a Tuesday. Don't forget you got school in the morning. It's like, who's doing that? Who the fuck is doing that? Granted, her parents are a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon. Still, like, what part of the show is supposed to be relatable? Her parents are a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon. Like, don't get me wrong, I get shows shooting for the stars with the parents having incredibly great jobs and so high paying, just smart parents, but a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon, I get the joke, alright? I get it. It's like one of your parents is really smart, the other one's kind of average. No, both of her parents are extremely smart and extremely skilled and extremely dangerous jobs. I get it, but come on, man. You're laying it on thick here, man. You're laying it on too thick. It's too much. Just bring it back a little bit. Just a little bit. Just tone it down a little bit. Make it somewhat logical, Make it somewhat doable. Make it seem somewhat possible. It would be possible. Yeah, but, make it seem somewhat possible, and it would have been better. Actually, I don't know if it would have been better. It was a great show, but the point I'm getting at is, it don't make no damn sense, all right? It does not make sense. Sorry about that one. I had to. I had to, man. You got me. But now let's take a look at Danny Phantom, where I get it. I know what you're gonna say. How does this show make sense? The kid is half ghost and he fights ghosts, but that's established in the universe. Like, established in the universe that ghosts do exist. There are ghosts. In fact, his parents are ghost hunters. They hunt ghosts. Like, their whole career is chasing ghosts and capturing them and trying to get rid of ghosts. So everyone in the world knows ghosts exist. Like, they've seen ghosts on multiple occasions. It's an established thing. So, like, him being half ghost isn't that far of a reach, Isn't that big of a stretch. It's not that unbelievable because, the ghosts do exist. So why wouldn't a half ghost human hybrid be a thing? In fact, he's not even the only one to exist in that universe. There's Vlad Masters, who's also one of his main villains, who knew his parents' friend from college, who they actually had the exact same accident with a ghost portal before him, so he's half ghost, and he's been hiding it for years, no one knows. The only difference is he's, like, extremely evil. His ghost persona is extremely evil compared to Danny's, which is pretty just, like, morally ambiguous. Like, it's never flat out, oh, he's straight up evil. It's more of him struggling with the morality of, like, he's a teenager. It's like, still deciphering right from wrong, where Vlad Masters, his ghost personality is just completely evil. Vlad Masters as a person's kind of evil, kind of twisted, kind of selfish. He's kind of like a Dr. Doom, almost. Where it's like, he doesn't necessarily want to destroy the world. He just wants what he wants and doesn't really care about if anybody else gets in his way, what anybody else wants. And if they get in his way, he has no problem with destroying them. In fact, there's one episode where Vlad is running for mayor, and Danny's dad is all in, like, oh yeah, he's got my vote. He's the greatest candidate. He's like, but he doesn't care about anybody else. And that's what makes him a great candidate. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, man, Vlad Masters, half ghost, had years of, like, to work on it. So when he finally finds out that Danny's half ghost and they start battling, it's like more of, almost kind of like a training session for Danny. Like, this is where you could be. Like, you keep working at it. This is where the level you could get to. But there's also this level of respect where they both have to hide their ghost personas so they can't rat out each other. Like, you can't one can't rat out the other without also exposing himself as half ghost. So there's kind of a respect slide, like there's a respectful rivalry there where they're both like fighting each other, but they kind of have to like accept the fact that I can't get rid of you because you'll get rid of me element there. But yeah, like a lot of the ghosts in Danny Phantom is weird. Like if you look into it, they all like kind of died in tragic ways. There's Ember McLean, the rock star, who like has flaming hair, so it's implied that like she probably died in a fire, but she gains power from people chanting her name. And her whole episode is about how she made an extremely catchy song that got all the kids in Danny's school singing it, and that just generated her power. But it's like, who's this rock star? The question was, who's this rock star that just popped up out overnight? But no one really, cares. I mean, it's high school, man. Nobody cares. Music, they like music. You listen to the music. No one gives a fuck. So Danny tries to fight her, and it's kind of a battle of him trying to overpower her, but she's more powerful because everyone's screaming her name. There's Skulker, which is the best hunter in the ghost world. It's awesome. His whole thing is he comes to Earth, he comes to the human realm to hunt Denny because he wants to hunt the half ghost kid because he hunts rare and legendary items and animals and creatures and mounts them on his wall. So he wants to catch Danny to mount them on a wall. They get caught up in a giant battle. It's pretty awesome, like battle of wits, where eventually Danny's like, he takes Danny's PDA with his schedule in it. Then they just reprogram a bunch of things that make no sense into a schedule to send Skulkers to places where Danny won't be, or send him somewhere so Danny knows where he's going to be in advance, so Danny can get the jump on him, so he can have an upper hand in the battle, which is a pretty dope strategy. It keeps things fresh. They keep everything fresh. They keep it new. They switch it up. There's Technus. There's the Box Ghost, which I love the guy, man. The Box Ghost. He's completely useless. Like, he has control of all things box related, all things box shaped, all things box related, all items contained in the box. But it's like, it's just the most useless power whatsoever until the episode where he finds Pandora's box and becomes a legit threat because he uses the evils from within Pandora's box he gets pretty close to taking over the world. Like, I honestly forgot I don't remember how they ended up defeating him, but the Box Ghost became a real threat, and they kind of respected him since after that. Like, granted, after that episode, and they finally beat him, he did go back to being kind of stupid and useless, but at the same time, there's also that respect of, at one point, this guy almost destroyed me. He almost overpowered everything and took over the world, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. There's also the lunch lady who has like control of food, which her episode's kind of weird because like she shows up at the school because they changed the menu because they started adding vegetarian options. They actually went completely vegetarian on the menu. There's no meat, and she's like, "What? What do you mean? There's no meat on the menu?" Eventually, she became this giant meat monster and destroyed the school in the process. It was pretty funny. It was so unnecessary, but yeah, that was awesome. There's also Johnny 13 and his shadow, which I don't understand that one. Like, he's a ghost. He's like the teenage bad boy ghost, rides a leather jacket, rides a motorcycle, but he also has a shadow, which is also a ghost. But how does a ghost have a shadow? But it's also a living shadow that's a ghost, and it honestly, it makes no sense either. But I mean, I guess both of these shows don't make sense. I was going to argue that Danny Phantom makes more sense than Kim Possible, but honestly, they're just both. They're nonsense. They're just complete nonsense, but they're enjoyable. They're great shows. They're a great watch. It's action-packed, action-packed, action-fueled nonsense, nonsense that kind of gets nowhere. But, yeah, man, it's just, damn, I haven't put that much thought into this topic. I promise, future topics will have more thought into them. I'll do more research. Speaking of research, during my research, I found out that Mr. Lancer, a.k.a. the vice principal for Danny's school, is voiced by Ron Perlman. Did not see that one coming. Did not know that. Watched that show for years. Never put two and two together. Never realized that this man's vice principal is Hellboy. How you just gonna do that, man? How you gonna just put him in there like that, man? Seriously, how did they get him on that show? Like, he's pretty big name, and this show went on for a while. Like, decent amount of episodes. Shout out to Disney, shout out to Nickelodeon for that, man. They must have dropped serious money on that. Also, the show was created by Butch Hartman, who also created Fairly Odd Parents, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. He also created Tough Puppy, which is another decent show. It's like spy agency that's all like a world full of animals, or anthropomorphic animals. There's a spy agency. I mean, like, it's funny. It's pretty good. It did not do well in ratings wise. It did. I do feel like it was kind of underrated. It could have been better. I mean, the main character, Dudley Puppy, was voiced by Jerry Trainer, aka Spencer Shay from iCarly, aka Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh, man. Crazy Steve. You got Crazy Steve voicing an animated character. The man who's extremely animated in live action shows is voicing an animated character, and that show somehow did not sell off of that. That show should sell off of that alone. Like, come on, that right there should get views. You want to see Crazy Steve as an actual cartoon so he can go even wilder than he already does? Apparently not. Apparently apparently nobody wanted to see that. Apparently I wanted to see it, but no one else did. It's kind of sad, man. That was a decent show. Anyway, back to the topic. Surprising voice actors. Dr. Draken, Kim Possible's main foe, was voiced by none other than Bender Bending Rodriguez himself, Mr. John DiMaggio, sorry. Who got that mixed up? John DiMaggio, aka King Zod from Disenchantment, aka Jake the Dog from Adventure Time, aka Bending Rodriguez, Mr. Shut Up Baby, I know it, himself, Mr. Bender is great. Mr. Bender is great. Mr. Bender, Bender. In case you haven't noticed, I like Futurama. I think Bender's a great character. I think these guys are a great voice actor. Fun fact, he originally auditioned to be Professor Farnsworth with the Bender voice, but didn't get it, and they told him to come back and audition for Bender using the same voice, and he got that. You imagine what Futurama would be like? The professor sounded like Bender. I guess it wouldn't be the same personality, but still, just that voice coming out of the professor would be pretty weird. But anyway, back to my point, back to what I was saying. I don't remember what that point was. I called Kim Possible Batman, I called Danny Phantom Spider-Man. Who do you like more? Who cares? I don't. Actually, I kind of do. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the podcast. Maybe tell me what you think about me. Maybe don't tell me what you think about me, because you probably don't like me. If you don't like me, why the hell you listen to my show? If you're listening to my show, you must like me a little bit, right? Just a little bit, little tiny bit. Well, sounds like about time for me to start trying to wrap this up, so I'm going to go ahead and say, personally, I feel like my personal opinion, wrap this all up in a nice little bow. Kim Possible, great show. Great show, really entertaining, a lot of voice talent in it. Makes less sense than Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom, great show. Doesn't make the most sense in the world, but makes more sense than Kim Possible. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. Are you team Kim Possible, team Danny Phantom? Feel free to drop that below. Please, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please, feel free to leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your co-workers, tell your pets, tell your grandparents, man. Tell your, tell your kitchen utensils about it, alright? Tell your barber, tell your favorite, you know what? Tell your favorite pitmaster about it. Your favorite barbecue pitmaster. You know, the ones who made that good barbecue, got that sweet sauce. Maybe they got that spicy sauce. Maybe they got that sweet and spicy sauce. Just make just real delicious, real tasty like. Just get you real in the gut. Just get you, yeah, man. But thank you for checking it out. Yeah, let me know in the comments below how you feel about this episode, how you feel about the format of the show, how you feel about the show in general. You know, like, comment, subscribe, tell everybody. And yeah, I'll catch you next time where I'll be discussing / reviewing / possibly just rambling about, definitely rambling about something. I don't know, man. Fuck it. Next week, I'm going to tell everybody about something. But no, thanks for checking this out. I'm 16. Remember, I may not be perfect. I might not even be shit. But I will always talk that 6. Thanks, guys.